Hi, travelers. Tara here. It is May 24th, 2017. We are zooming through May, and we're coming up on our new moon in Gemini tomorrow. I was laughing this morning because my friend that we do carpool duty together for the kids for school, and my daughter came home yesterday, and she says, "Oh my God, Miss P went off on, the one teacher." And she was telling me what happened. So I picked up the phone and I was like, "Hey girl, I heard you had to bon qui qui one of the teachers up at the school." She was like, "Yes." And it was so funny because she's such a tiny little thing. I've never seen her angry. She's always laughing and, full of good cheer and joy, sweet as she wants to be. And she was like, "And I told her that if she made my daughter cry again, that I was going to come up there and it didn't matter how many security guards that she was going to call." I said, "Girl, you didn't put the Mexican judo on her, did you?" She said, "Yes, I did." So she just came and picked up my daughter up for school, and I was dying laughing. For those of you who don't know Mexican judo, the phrase goes like this: "You don't know if I got a gun. You don't know if I got a knife. You don't know." My neighbor tells me these things. And I was laughing so hard because she's so funny. Just to see her that angry. I've never seen her that angry before. Anyway, we're going to get started with the reading. We have Mars in Gemini. And I think that's why I brought that story up, is because that could be, arguments. Why? Gemini is the sign of the twins. So this could be this duality. It could be this all of a sudden good twin, bad twin. We know that Mercury rules the sign of Gemini. So this is communications, travel, business negotiations, sales. So there could be a lot of anger and a lot of conflict. And usually when we have a new moon, the sun sits right next to the moon. Okay. And so this can bring up these conflicts, if not with other people, but these inner conflicts. So be conscious, be mindful of that. That just tickled me so bad. Anyway, we're going to get into the open reading. And I do have the Radiant White deck with me. One of the readings that I did, and I was talking to you guys about watch for the signs, look for the signs. I have been getting signs. Mine have been showing up in the form of scorpions. I have found this week 4 scorpions in my house, I think since Sunday, in the weirdest places. And my Virgo sun sits in the 8th house of Scorpio. So I am getting messages. I think it is related to my business. And I was talking to my astrologer friend over in England, and she's like, "Yeah, some stuff's coming up. You got some till the end of July. You got stuff you're going to have to work on." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the reading. This is general, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. Please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. Now, the reading that I posted on Monday had some ugly, ugly cards. And I think that has to do with the Jupiter-Pluto. We had a square going on. We've got a yod. We've got a T-square. We've got a lot of kind of, I don't know. It's not aggressive energy. It's just a bizarre kind of energy. And some of you may be feeling that kind of maybe out of sorts, out of whack. You're not exactly sure really what's going on. And I think that spread is what that was speaking to. Because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, that's just ugly." So anyway, rest assured, transits are pretty temporary. Unless they're involving the big outer planets. This is going to be your Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and then of course Pluto, not because it's a big planet, but because it's so far out. Oh, well, look at there. There's Neptune. Forgot about Neptune. He just flew out of the deck. So we'll leave him, and he has presented himself reversed. So let's take a look at that. He just flew out of the deck. I know that for Virgo suns, we have a Neptune transit that will be affecting us until 2024. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if I can do that. But there, you see, there's the Hangman reversed. Normally, that's what he looks like. But he flew out of the deck, and presented himself like this, okay? Now, normally when we would see the hangman in his correct position, that indicates some kind of pause or some kind of hold or some kind of wait, because there's no clarity going on. There are some foggy details. You don't have all of the story. You're not sure if what's happening is real or if it's delusional or if it's fantasy. You're not sure if somebody else is deluding you, or, you know, whatever the case may be. For some of you, if this is an issue about perhaps an injury, leg injury, hip injury, knee injury, foot injury, back injury, head injury, maybe even something with your hands, I would suspect that if you've been perhaps waiting on news, or you had to take some tests, that perhaps you're going to get that information coming in, okay? I don't do health readings, but that did come to me. So let's go ahead and, you know, please follow the advice of whatever your medical professional has said to you. So let's go ahead and put the rest of the cards down. It's quite interesting. He literally just flew out of the deck. Okay. Well, here is an Ace of Pentacles. There is a Hierophant. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Knight of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Four of Swords. Seven of Wands. Three of Swords. And an Eight of Coins. I don't have any repeater numbers. Well, what do you know? Justice. Now, for those of you, welcome new subscribers to the channel. Welcome new website members. Thank you so much for joining. I think I'm all caught up on the charts. By the way, I have posted up a new metaphysical video along with a new ebook for you guys. Get over to the members area and download that. There's also, I put a link up to one of the astrologers on YouTube. She's actually my favorite astrologer on YouTube. So you might want to take a look at that about the new moon. I will be working on the June 2017 videos next week to be posted up. So just kind of hang tight. There's a new, I'm about to post a new article as soon as I get this done and upload it on the site. So I'm kind of back in my groove here. That Mercury retrograde kind of threw me for a loop there. Okay. For those of you who don't know much about the tarot, honestly, I have two major arcana cards. And the major arcana within the spread itself. The major arcana are the Hanged Man reversed, and then the Hierophant. Now, those of you who've been with me for a while know that I don't read reverse cards, but like I always say, no matter how it plays out, you're going to get the cards that you're going to get in order to get the message, okay? Let me show you. We saw the Hanged Man reversed there, standing up. That always freaks me out when I see that. There's our Ace of Pentacles. Here is our Hierophant. Here is our Knight of Pentacles. Here is our Page of Cups. There's lots of messages coming in. Here is our Four of Swords. Here is our Seven of Wands. Here is the Three of Swords. And here is our Eight of Pentacles. Now, the major arcana are spiritual lessons and life lessons. Okay, this is how we evolve spiritually to become, you know, stronger, wiser, more compassionate people. And then I have these, the pip cards, what are known as the pip cards. And the pip cards include our numbered cards, like the Four of Swords, Seven of Wands, Three of Swords, Eight of Coins. It also includes our aces and also our court cards, okay? And the court cards are the knights, kings, queens, and pages. Right in the center, I have the Page of Cups. Now, a lot of tarot readers will just simply equate the cups with love. I equate the cups with emotions because that's what it's all about. The wands are traditionally associated with work, but I interpret them as ambition and drive, focus. The swords are usually only traditionally interpreted as communications, but swords represent communications, ideas, belief, perceptions, okay? The coins are equated with finances, all right? But they also equate to the physical plane and the doing of the work, all right? So right in the center, I have this Page of Cups. So this lets me know everything else is happening around. And the way the cards are read, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. So right in the center, there's a message. And I think it's a message that we've been waiting on. It's something that we have, in one respect, I think we may be hopeful for. Because the energy of pages it's kind of a light new energy, and it sits right below this Ace of Pentacles. And the reason why I say I think we've been waiting on it is we have this Hanged Man up here. And so if I look at the Hanged Man in his regular, if he was like this would tell me that there's a message that you've been waiting on. And while you've been waiting on it, you've been, I don't know, maybe just keeping yourself busy or being focused on other things. Okay. But the Hanged Man is reversed. And I think what the top row was trying to tell me is that for some of you, this has been a reevaluation of your values. Okay. Here we have Neptune and here we have Taurus. Well, Neptune is very, very nebulous. It's about, you know, the fog rolling in. You're kind of floating around. You don't exactly know where you're going. It's a water energy, and it rules the moon. Neptune does. Over on the other side of this, we have the Hierophant, which is an earth energy, which represents the sign of Taurus. Taurus is a fixed earth energy. So this is a groundedness in something. Now, the Hierophant does equate to your personal finances, okay? The money that you earn on your own, not the money that necessarily you get from work, but it's, you know, maybe you got a side gig, side hustle. Okay, so it's that kind of money, but it also rules your bank accounts, your apartment, your house, your property, your mortgages, things that you own singly by yourself. But he also equates to values and to, in some respect, higher education, not higher learning. That would be the, what do you call it? The Temperance card. So sometimes I have seen the Hierophant come about when we're speaking about large corporations. This would be, you know, hospitals, banks, universities, the military. It doesn't necessarily equate to government, but it could be speaking to governmental branches, the IRS, the DEA, you know, things of that nature. And this could also represent an individual. So this could be like a mentor or a boss. It could be an educator. And I don't always look at the Hierophant as an educator, but typically it's somebody who's going to have more knowledge. He sits at the top. They're the two acolytes at the bottom. But I also feel that there's something else going on. Here are the two keys at the base of his feet. And these speak to some kind of secret knowledge. Okay. So I think for some of you, you're kind of coming out of a fog and you're recognizing that there's a new opportunity for you coming up. For some of you, this could be going back to college. For some of you, this might be perhaps considering the old job where you're working no longer kind of fits in with your values, or you feel like you're not getting something out of it. And maybe you're considering switching, if not positions, then perhaps even changing jobs altogether. Across the center, I think that some of you have received news that has come, and it's been a long time coming. I think this is why the Hangman has now reversed himself. And the news that has come in has kind of put you at odds. You're not exactly sure. Maybe suddenly after this moment of pause and reflection and getting yourself straight, things have moved, and now, like maybe unexpectedly moved, and you're kind of maybe rushing around trying to get your ducks in a row. I don't think this has come in quite quickly, and the reason why I say that is because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, okay? And typically, sometimes when I see this energy, this is about, you know, you expect something, you know something, you know, you're waiting for something to come, so what do I do? I'm waiting on this news this official news. We can even say it's official news. And while I'm waiting for that news to come in, I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, get my ducks in a row. I'm going to continue working on those projects, tweaking them, doing whatever it is I need to do. That guy's literally making money. So this could just be like, you know, focusing on your side hustle, okay? And trying to shore that up. But I think something unexpected has shown up. And the reason why I say this with this Page of Cups is this could possibly be a new offer, one that you did not quite see was coming, kind of out of the blue. And the reason why I say that, we have this fish in the cup. And to me, that always indicates some kind of surprise. But it's something that definitely has your attention. And I don't think you know quite what to do about it. There's the Jupiter in Libra, okay? And Jupiter in Libra is either about taking some time away. Maybe it's been a conflict situation, and taking some time away so that maybe this is just you need it, you know, maybe you have been ill, you haven't been feeling well. And this is, you know, your time of rest right here. And you've had to literally just, your body just kind of shut down. And you had to just take some time out. And sometimes that will happen. Okay, well, now that we see that things are moving, now you're behind. So now you've got to get up and, you know, get on the stick. All right, ride the broom. For others of you, I do believe that you have received some news that you have been waiting on, some rather official news that you've been waiting on for quite some time. This could be some kind of deal that you've been working on for a very, very long time. One that's going to perhaps even change your position, if not professionally, then perhaps financially, okay? But the Four of Swords also speaks to sometimes before you, this could be about thinking about your plans. What is it you want to do? And you're not telling anybody. And that's the thing about this card. If this card shows up, sometimes it says, you know, before you start sharing your ideas with other people, you know, work on it a little bit more. Think about it a little bit more. Tweak it a little bit more. You know, sometimes there are things you should not expose at a certain time. And in one respect, I'm kind of getting that here, you know. This is somebody who all of a sudden they've got that idea. See, because he's right side up, suddenly the ideas are coming. Okay. Well, now that I'm getting these ideas, I got to tweak them. What is odd is this Three of Swords here. And I'm not sure if the Three of Swords is telling me that maybe some of you have already accepted a position, or you've staked out a position, or you have already set your boundaries, because this is what this card is about. Like this, he speaks to absolutely no boundaries. Well, now maybe you have set your boundaries, okay? And that is locked down tight. And now you have something new that has come in, this new element, and that's what aces and pages are. There's something brand new, new energies. And now there's a disappointment, as if to say, oh shit, maybe I moved too fast, okay? So the Justice card tells me that if this has not played out for you, that there's going to be a fair and balanced and rational decision. In other words, so maybe you did lock down something and now a better offer has come along, okay? Well, it may be better on the surface, but in the end, really not be something better for you. So Justice comes in to say, well, look, that's the way you're going to have to do it, because this thing, you know, really ain't the best for you. It could also be justice is trying to teach you a lesson perhaps about patience. Why? The wheels of justice turn very, very slowly. Whatever the case may be, there's some kind of balance coming out. So justice is not always the outcome that we most wish for or desire, but it is fair on the karmic level. Okay, it is fair. And we may not always understand that at the time. So for some of you, this could be a lesson about acceptance and some respect. There's no wheel of fortune here. It kind of feels like a wheel of fortune, but not quite. And the reason why I say that is we have these two swords cards here. We have two pentacles. I'm sorry, we have three pentacles. We only have one wand. So in a way, it's kind of like maybe it's been more mental than the actual physical, than the actual ambition. Maybe you really weren't excited about that thing, but you did it anyway. Okay. And now something, in a sense, much better has come along, but you blocked yourself into in a corner that you perhaps can't figure out how to get out of. For some of you, this could be a legal issue. I'm going to go to the Sibyllus. And I think that some of you are kind of at odds. The Seven of Wands, sevens speak to internal conflicts. And we see this spiritual, religious kind of a thing going on. Maybe there's some inner conflict about, excuse me, what you know to be true for you on a spiritual level, but it may not be accepted on a socially normal level. Okay. And the reason why I say that is we have the Hierophant, the Page of Cups, and then the Seven of Wands. This could also be some kind of news that has come down from a higher up or some organization, something brand new, and you're not quite sure what to make of it. Okay. Maybe you're scrambling around trying to, maybe it's the IRS and you're going through an audit. What do I know? And now they're saying, well, you need to give us this form, that form, that form, and that form. And now you're running around scrambling trying to get that stuff. Okay. I want to look at the Hanged Man reversed to see what he's trying to tell us. Because it's like two different messages. They're at cross purposes. And maybe that's what this is all about. But I do feel that for some of you, there's a moment where you're going to have to, like I was saying to you about my business, I'm not exactly sure, you know, I know what I'm doing, but I still haven't quite gotten it really solid yet. So I've had to take some time out, and perhaps there's more time that needs to be taken. But I would dare say that we don't want to take too long with this Three of Swords. Okay? We don't want to take too long. Because if we take too long, if we miss out on whatever this Eight of Coins is trying to tell us, remember, in the end, you know, we may not like it, but it's going to be fair. That's not to say that I think that if you change the way that you think, you can change the energy surrounding a situation. And therefore, with the change of thought and a change of energy comes a change of behavior. And then you can figure out how to work this through. It's a balance. Let's look at this Hanged Man reversed. This doesn't necessarily read like a romantic relationship. It reads like something more on the material plane, but there's some spiritual conflict or religious value-placed conflict that's happening around this situation. Yeah. Well, remember I was talking about the Wheel of Fortune? It reads like the Wheel of Fortune, but it didn't show up. Well, there she is, Fortuna, in the Sibylla cards. And what we see that someone has, we could assume that the person has been confused in the past. There's been some no clarity for a situation, and they may have been stuck. This could also be someone, as I said, having been ill. Sometimes the Hanged Man will, if it's an illness, it can sometimes represent like a clinical depression, a fog. We can't get out of it. So we see some meditation, pensiero. And in one respect, that's what the Hanged Man is doing. He's placed himself in a position to where he can kind of go within. This is a lot of 12th house energy. So this could be inner child issues. It could be past life issues. It could be past life interferences and conflict. It can be a revelation if you can actually get into it and not lose yourself in whatever's coming up. So it's a meditative state. So here we have someone meditation, thought, they're thinking. So we can assume or say on the surface that someone is perhaps getting some clarity. I would say that was true because there is the donna de servicio. She is a helper. She is like, she represents the domestic. So this is someone who does housework. Maybe you needed to come in, you've been ill and you needed someone to come in and kind of help you around the house. But just on the surface of it, we can say that perhaps this time period, whatever this meditation, this meditative state, this thing that you've been going through really has been very positive for you, because she's always positive. And that has brought about a change in circumstances. Why? Because now we're able to, we've changed our thinking pattern around it. Now the energy has changed, and now we can kind of get up and affect the situation in some respect. And maybe this is maybe this is saying, you know, it's been a long time coming. You need to get up and do something. Okay. These are, now that I'm looking at it, it's two conflicting messages. The reason why I say that, they're facing each other. See that? One's coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, or from East to West. The other one's coming from West to East. This is a more fleshed out message, and this is a brand new one. So perhaps this is what the conflict is all about. Now that I'm looking at it, this could be a decision about whether or not someone wants to join forces with another person, be it business or romantic. Because sometimes this card can speak to a marriage. Okay, so the offer came, but I don't know. I'm still conflicted about that. Maybe that's what that's all about. Let's pull cards on the Seven of Wands and see what this is telling us. And if that's the case, if the latter, then this row down the center still doesn't make any sense to me. Because this speaks to some kind of disappointment. And maybe this is just where the energy is right now. And so maybe that's why this Four of Swords and this Eight of Coins has come out, because there's more work to be done. We do have this energy of the Hangman, whether he is right side up or reversed. And so maybe those three cards on the Hangman are telling us that it's going to be a while longer yet. Why? So things can work out karmically the way they're supposed to. Right? Now this is the past row. So for some of you, this could go back to August 12th to 22nd of last year. But it's also very important because it's also the first card down on the future row. And it picks up this slight disappointment here. Picks up, guess what? The day after, August 23rd to September 1st, I believe. It's usually a 2-week time period, each card. So that's quite interesting. So the three cards I have is the L'Amica. This is the confidant, or the relationship with trust, or the friendship. Here we have the Prigione, the constraint, or the limitation. This is Saturn in Leo. And Saturn is all about limitations. So it doesn't read to me like a disappointment in terms of somebody reneging on something. It reads like a disappointment because something, maybe the person can't reach you. Maybe the person can't talk to you. Maybe the person is not in a position right now to affect change. There's something else that they have to work on. Okay? Indeed. Remember that depression I was speaking about? The melancholia. But yet, no matter which side of this you fall on, this card says that you are in a better place than you realize. So if you're struggling with that depression or that disappointment or that feeling, perhaps maybe a failure, you're in a better position than you realize. This could be maybe someone wanting to hurry up so that they can get to that and complete this, but they can't. Why? There are lessons here to be learned. And a lot of times when I see the Justice and the Hierophant come out, this means that there's a spiritual lesson that's trying to be integrated right now. So it's going to take a bit more time. Let me see. If you're on the other side, same thing. It's a spiritual lesson that's trying to be integrated right now. All right. I'm going to pull the last 3 cards on this 3 of Swords, and then I'm going to close this reading out with a Angel Answer card and a Heart Oracle Tarot. Oh, wait. The cards are all crooked. Hold on. We're going to look at this 3 of Swords. I think this is about the desire to do something different, the desire to take a new path, wanting to. The message is coming in that it's time, but we can't do that yet. See? Exactly. Riunione. Gran Signore. Dispiacere. Worry. Anxiety. Fear. Why? Limitations. I think this is a situation where someone is going through a major change at a very, very core, fundamental level. But it's going to take some time. Okay? So let's go ahead and start formulating a question in your mind. And that could be about anything, to be honest with you. It does kind of read like it's finances, it's work, it's personal things, it's spiritual things, it's normally accepted things. It's just, there's work. There's things being, and I think in one respect, there are things being worked out on a different plane that you're not aware of yet. And because we only exist on the 3rd dimension as physical beings, sight, sound, smell, taste, feel, it can be, that's a difficult energy. It's kind of like you know exactly where you want to go. And sometimes, but you can't do that yet. And sometimes it can make you feel like you want to jump out of your skin. Sit with that energy for a little while and look at what comes up for you. Okay? And it comes down to learning to be objective without allowing your self-doubt or your fears or your insecurities to come up. That can be easier said than done, right? I know. People think because I'm a card reader and I do all of this spiritual work that, my life is perfect. It's not. It can't be. Nothing is perfect. So I struggle with things just like you guys do. The only difference is I've stopped questioning why. I just kind of go with it. One card. Look at that. In perfect timing. Can you see that? Okay. Now, let's pull one Heart Oracle Tarot. And then we're going to read this down. And then I'm going to go fix this for you guys and post it up so you can see it. Man, I got a lot of work to do. I'm going to be going into my Akashic Records this weekend. Some things I need to take a look at for myself. See, even though I do this work, I still have to keep myself in optimum energetic health. okay, so that I can do what I do. Look at that. This is a heal. Remember I said it's a spiritual lesson being integrated. There's the heart chakra. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Okay, perfect timing. Okay. Wow, this is a beautiful, it's only Wednesday? Wow, okay. Well, it's better than that reading I posted up on Monday, right? Perfect timing. This is the perfect timing for the situation you've asked about. Move forward with confidence. Don't delay or hesitate because an energy gateway is presently open for you. Conditions are ripe. Even if you don't feel prepared, rest assured that you are. Remember I was saying that it kind of reads like, don't wait too long. And even like the card says, even if conditions are not perfect, you need to make that move anyway. Because if you try to wait till conditions are perfect, you'll be waiting from now till the end of time. Nothing is ever perfect. Okay, I just said that, did I not? Let's look at the heart chakra and what this is. We've had a lot of chakra cards coming up lately. Parallel to the heart, the heart chakra, there we go, represents unconditional love, compassion, harmony, relationships, and healing. It is believed to be the link between mind, body, and soul. To activate this chakra, take a moment to send from your heart loving, healing energy in the form of blue and green waves. Blue for peace, green for healing. Send this to everyone and everything unconditionally. This love will be returned to you for your own healing. And that could be one of the issues, is that maybe someone doesn't know how to fix that situation. And with the cards, the perfect timing, it really doesn't matter about how you can fix it. You're being shown that the time is right. And again, if you wait until the perfect conditions, there are no such things, ever. Ever. Even the perfect conditions for a storm can bring, hell. So I say go with it. Do what the card says. All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. Before I go, for those of you who might be interested in a personal reading, you can click on the little whatever it says up here in the right-hand corner, and that'll take you directly over to the site. If it's a reading by phone, please read the important information on booking. How do you get to that? When you get to the site, you see the readings by phone tab. Hover your mouse over that. A secondary menu will pop out. Right at the top, it says important information on booking. So please read that before you submit any payment or the booking form. For those of you interested in a video reading, there's a separate tab for that. For those of you who might be interested in an Akashic Records reading or etheric cord cutting, or you want to come over and get some free birth charts and do a little bit of astrology, come on over. I'll be happy to have you there. And again, until next time, namaste.